Hello, welcome to my channel. This is C. My name is C. My last name is Lee. Don't get that confused. I just wanted to say hi. This is what I'm doing in my painting process. This is just something that I usually just go into it. Sometimes I really don't think about what I'm doing because that can create procrastination and anxiety. Sometimes I feel like I do need a reference, but since I'm outside, I figured, just go with the flow, paint, and see what the color comes up with, mix the color, see what I get. So this is kind of just working to better understand the colors because I am so impatient that I don't take the time to learn the color palettes, which I know in a way that I understand some, how, if you mix green and red, it gives you a certain color. But to say that I am perfection, well, that's not even a word. That to say that I know what I'm doing, I would not take credit for that. That's why I just wanted to say that. At the meantime, wanted to just show you guys what I'm doing. Sometimes playing around, just relax, doing whatever. Because I tend to do a lot of things because of my anxiety. I like to move around. I can't sit still. So for me to finish a project is really hard. I am still learning to try to figure out how to overcome all of that. So far, painting has helped calm me down a little bit to sit down and not move as much as I don't need to. Or sometimes it helps me. I don't know. I guess we're dealing with mental health here. I don't want the show to be all about mental health, but that is where I'm coming from to try to understand myself better. So what that being said is pretty much going down to the learning every day, not giving up, being grateful, and learning how to just get some stuff done and be proud of the progress. At the same time, I try not to feel down on myself because I do that a lot and I'm hard on myself a lot. So with that being said, I hope that you guys can enjoy this video. If there's anything else that I can do, let me know. Otherwise, word of encouragement is always helpful. Support is always helpful. With me doing this as an artist really comes down to finding who I am. It's been hard to find who I am. I have just gone through with the flow of life, and I think that a lot of us can relate. With that being, working to support yourself, your family, trying to find out your passion, try to figure out what you like to do. All those things we all have to do. And that has become something that either you go with it or you find your way, right? So what I'm saying is I was a CNA for 11 years. I did fast food. I loved that because I had all the energy and I just loved the idea of learning because my manager and my boss, whichever you want to prefer, were always so open to helping me. I came from a family of 7 kids, and my dad was in and out our lives, so that doesn't make it a really nice balance. It was hard on my mom. I guess we're talking about me at this point. Really going down to why art has been a big deal, because it was the only thing that I can do for myself. So I stopped doing art because of life, having to go to school, taking care of the kids, helping my mom. I'm not complaining about those things. I know those things are supposed to be a thing that we do, right? So I appreciate all of it. And even though I didn't know what it meant at that time, I do know that it helped me to learn, to not be afraid of people, to walk to school, take the bus to school, get in trouble and get into detention. I got into fights. I tried to do it all. The only thing I didn't do, I wish I would have done more, was sports. But I was really shy. I really didn't know how to talk, like speak up for myself. That was something that I never knew how to do until I was later in life that I had to do it. So when you had to, it kind of made you, better if you just kind of step out of it. But for me, I grew up having to be the one to speak English when we go to the grocery store, or when we have to ask somebody about something. My mom always had me doing the talking. Even though I was shy, it was just between me and my sister. So to not disappoint my mom, I stepped in, because my sister just wouldn't do it. Just asking about, hey, can we get this milk instead of this cereal from our WIC? Asking those questions, if the clerk says it's okay, we can do that with our WIC, because at that time we're like food stamp, So asking about the Alliant Energy bill and all that stuff, I did all of that growing up. Although we lived in a really quiet, shelter, loving home, we really were not exposed to a lot of things. And I kind of wish that I was more exposed, because I think that would have built me more confidence. And so then when it comes down to explaining stories and learning and all these fun stuff, I did that in a way that took me longer than most. I guess you can say a slow learner, or maybe just not ready to take in all the information, going with what everybody thinks you should be going with, the expectation of, hey, you need to be this certain way. I was not that way. I was really shy. I was really different, and I just never felt like I belonged or fit into anybody. So to me, I was really shy, and I guess that's just a lot of people, but I didn't make a lot of friends. And then when I did make friends, I wasn't sure how to be myself. So that made it hard, when you don't know who you are and then you're trying to figure that out. It just makes a life really hard, because you don't know who you are. So then you tend to be whoever people want you to be. So that made it hard too, because you don't know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, you just tend to do what everybody's doing. So to say that our kids, friends are the ones that are going to mold them, I believe that's true. That's where I learned myself. And then I had to really step out of it later on in life when I was going through a hard time, and figured out, oh my gosh, I have to stand up for myself. I have to go to therapy, and I have to understand why this was happening. And I had to understand why I was feeling this way. So that made life kind of interesting, if you want to put it that way. I guess I'm just I had no script of what I'm saying. I'm just talking. I'm going back to drawing a little bit of my life, and then going back to drawing is just really the idea that art really has helped my mental health, I think. It gave me something to do. It gave me a reason to not feel like I have no purpose or have nothing to live for. Because my kids are older now. They don't want to spend time with me. I don't get the cuddles with them. I get more of, the annoying. They're like, mom's annoying, My kids are 21 and 17 at this point. They're boys. And my boyfriend works a lot. And then when he doesn't work, he's doing something, fixing tractors, mowing the lawn. So then I tend to be alone a lot of time, because I was working. And then about 4.5 years ago, when I had to stop working because my back and my neck went out from my CNA job, and that was in the middle of a COVID, So when that happened, I had no choice but to quit my CNA job. I feel so bad. I wanted to be a part of the crew, to help all the craziness that you hear about the COVID and how all the short staff and all of that. I couldn't do anything. Trust me, that was not something that I was upset about that. I just didn't know how to say it. But anyways, my body says I couldn't do it. So I really didn't have a choice but to not be working. If that makes a lot of sense, I hope. Um, so not being able to be a CNA was the only thing that I really knew for 11 years. That, and then knowing that we're in the middle of Christ and that I couldn't help made it even harder for me, So I sit there at home and like everybody's just going crazy and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do and I can't move and my back hurts and I have to go to the chiropractor and then I have to go to my doctor's appointment and I have to take these medicine and I have to try to do heat and then, try to motivate myself to get up and work out and try to do a little bit of here and there so to not make my pain worse or to kind of figure out what's going on, having to try it out my back brace, having to do a lot of therapy. It was, my life was just really not the way I imagined it to be, and it was really hard and annoying. So then I decided after some years I have to go back to work. I'm a busybody and I don't like to just do nothing. I went back to work, but I couldn't go back to CNA, so I had to go find something else. And this is where I decided, okay, I'm going to become a teacher assistant, one of those teacher A, kind of help out with the kids. And that was rewarding in a way, but it wasn't something I personally wanted to do. Kudos to those people that are there every day. Trust me. But it was hard for me because I needed to move. I needed to do more. And sitting there having to try to teach a kid to like do their homework and hope that they will do the homework, because a lot of times, when you're with kids that are kindergarten or first grade, second grade, sometimes you get those that are defiant, like I was. So I couldn't understand how this could be mentally good for me because I have a hard time with my kids as it is. But I thought that having kids that I could handle this. But learning from that, I did not want to work with kids from that job. So I only did that for the summer. And that was short-lived. I was glad that I had the chance to do it, to be at the school, to kind of appreciate what everybody does for our kids. And that made a difference, in my perspective. At the same time, it really put me in a situation where, okay, what do I want to do? I had no choice. I had no idea, and I was just talking to one of my friends. And I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. And she just says, hey, see, it sounds like you like to talk to people. And I was doing like a side hustle. So I was doing like Zaya leggings. And I was trying to see if anybody would do parties with me. So I just mentioned that to Nikki one day. Hey, would you like to do parties with me? And she's like, no, I'm good. But then one day at the end of the last day of school, she's like, see, you're doing the Zaya. I think you'll be great if you want to try sales at like timeshare. My husband works in timeshare. Okay. I said, I have nothing to do. I mean, I could take the summer off, live off my savings, figure out what I want to do. But at the same time, I have to be mindful about my back and my all of the little things that comes and go. I don't know, so it was really hard to dedicate myself to anything, to say, hey, I could come in and be like 100%, because that was really hard for me to be. I didn't want to do that. After doing CNA, I learned that it was really hard for me to keep up because I was going through some pain that I didn't know I was. I actually learned that I had to put injection in my foot, and because it was flared up. So then I learned that caused pain. I couldn't walk for a while. I had to take a lot of breaks, and then I had to learn to walk slower, doing the right way, and not walking so fast. My hip was all up and down. So life has just been different for me, and I couldn't do CrossFit anymore. I did CrossFit for 2.5 years before I had to quit that also, because that was the same time I was doing CNA. So I felt so good doing CrossFit. I was getting stronger. I'm only 4'10", so it made a difference that I was able to lift my residence and have like the muscle. I didn't like the idea that I had to ask for help all the time. But then at the same time, I really don't have a choice because I'm really short. And a lot of times, no matter how strong you think you are, you still need to ask for help. But a lot of times when you ask for help, you take away your coworkers' time to be able to do their job. So, there's a lot of guilt in that situation, having to ask for help, not being able to do the job by myself, and not being fast enough to do the job because I was dealing with my own pain, not realizing that I was dealing with my own pain. And then just going through the day, to try to get through it. I don't think a lot of people understood, and I didn't understand it either. So it was just a lot of learning. The point of that is that we all need to be mindful and take a break when it's necessary, and I was doing too much. So I don't know what caused my back pain, but everything that has happened has led up to me having to stop my old routine and needed to do something else. So in the meantime, 4 years now, I have been learning to love myself, understanding that everything happens for a reason. I do believe in that. My therapist has been really good about helping me, and I had learned to take walks when I can, and learn to get up and learn to like move around. So then I started going into my drawing a lot more because I didn't know what else to do. And then I got into, because you can only watch so much TV. You can only clean the house. You can only do so much before you say, you know what, I'm tired of this. And everything led up to pain. So that was really hard. Everything I did was just defeating. I couldn't do nothing right. And my family didn't understand what the pain I was going through. So that caused a lot of frustration in my mind, in my body, the guilt, all of it, So I didn't feel like I was good enough for anybody. So I stopped hanging out with friends. I stopped going because I couldn't work out anymore, and I started gaining weight, and then I just stopped everything. I just stopped doing stuff. That's where I started doing more into my garden because I know that I love to do my flowers. And this year I really dive into it. So the last 6 months I've been living off my savings. Now I'm going down to where I need to find something that I can do that will earn income, that will provide for me and my kids and still be able to pay the mortgage. So now I'm in a situation where I have to find a job, and I just don't know what to do because I feel like the last 6 months I really had learned to understand who I am. My therapist is like, take 6 months off and really just do nothing. And then, take the time to really figure it out what you really want to do. And I'm like, okay. So I'm still sitting here not knowing really what I want to do. But thinking about the time frame, I don't know, so it's really, I don't want to work just to work. I want to work to be fulfilled, but I don't have the capacity that I feel is enough to do a good job. So that's where I'm stuck. I don't want to go to work and have to worry that, hey, today I'm not feeling good. I'm sorry, but you can't count on me today. I don't like putting people down. I don't like to be a disappointment. So I think that's part of the job situation that is really hard for me to do. And then I thought about doing work at home, which I'm trying right now. And it's kind of slow answering marketplace and trying to do sales that way, also being a salesperson, which is, I like it. I enjoy it a lot. But I still need to find more income. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hoping that this YouTube video, just me talking, kind of sharing my journey. I'm not talking about, hey, I'm going to make $1 million with YouTube, but I just wanted to share my journey, why I draw and art is part of my purpose at this point. I want to make this a business, and I want to make my art the way I want to make it, and I don't want to make it for somebody else who say, hey, you need to do it this way because this is what you should do. I have learned to really learn to listen to myself and say, no, I'm doing this because it's for me. Because we need to get away from having to people please. And that's all I felt I have done my whole life. To try to get away from that is really hard. And that's this last 6 months has really helped to teach me, hey, let go of the old stuff. Let go of your kids not wanting to spend time with you because they're a teenager now. Just let it go. Being codependent and not knowing what I want to do, all of those. So I had to learn, and I actually really enjoy spending time alone. Not having friends, because only the ones that are closest to me are important to me. Not making, fake friends. Not just being there because people are there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel the pressure of trying to fit in. So I stopped. That's why I stopped going anywhere. I've stopped doing anything. It's not like I do a lot of stuff to begin with, but not having CrossFit and not doing CNA, really had no one to talk to, and then not doing my timeshare and having to get laid off because I didn't hit my numbers. That's how I lost my job 6 months ago. It's because I didn't hit my numbers. So that really killed my self-esteem there too. At this point, really coming down to trying to find what's purpose, that is going to be pleasing. I don't know. Like I said, I want to work. I'm a hard worker. I just don't know what my body is capable of doing at this moment. Some days when I'm at home, I'm always doing my gardening, or I'm doing like something hard or something, and then I have to rest for a couple of days because I did too much, like shoveling or digging or bending. And then my back starts to really act up, and then I can't move. So, or doing nothing and trying to rest, and then sometimes overdoing that. There's like a balance I'm trying to find. At this point, I feel stronger because I'm trying to be stronger, trying to be more mindful. I'm actually even thinking about lifting weights again to hope to strengthen, get stronger, but I'm afraid. Because I'm afraid that I know that I can overdo things, and I'm just trying to be more mindful. So going slow, and sometimes I get distracted that it's so hard for me to do anything. So there we go again. The reason why I can't get anything done is because I'm constantly trying to live in the present and live in the past and live in the future, and then trying to do all these things and trying to survive is really difficult to be in that situation where I just don't feel secure in my own skin. I think that's really what it comes down to. How do you know what to do or where to go? Because I'm talking to myself at this moment, and I'm just recording this, just sharing my progress. But I'm really sitting here thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not lazy. It's not that I don't want to work, but I feel like after working all these times for the last 20 years, I want to do something that I'm happy about. But at this moment, I got to do something that will feed me, and I'm scared, but I just wanted to share my art. And I do have a website. I need to work on that too. So with my ADHD, I have a hard time getting things done, and that is something that I work on every day. So I'm constantly trying to not feel guilty, but I do. I feel bad about a lot of things every day. So when I go to doing my gardening and my artwork and just trying to relax, it's because my body needs to relax, or I'm just overwhelmed and I just can't find a balance. And I feel like I'm a failure to my kids and my boyfriend, and I just don't feel like I'm good enough, but I'm working on it because I know I'm good. I just need to figure out what's going to work. But yeah, thanks for watching. We're down to 1 minute before this video is over. I just wanted to just chat. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, please comment below that you do enjoy these talk, because I am trying to be more open, and maybe this will help somebody else too, or maybe you can relate to how I feel. But yeah, I just try to be inspiring and bring more positivity and hope and faith, because I have a lot of that. I just don't know where I want to be at this moment. So I wish you a good day, and I really hope that you enjoy this painting. I have no doubt that I'll see you again, but please subscribe and like the video. Have a nice day. I wish you all the best, and just make more things that fulfill you and your purpose. Thanks for watching. Bye.